So I want to welcome you to the BizFed Institute Los Angeles Major Events Business Readiness Summit. We're excited to convene this powerhouse room of cross-sector leaders, visionaries, and change makers as we prepare a global spotlight coming over the next 3 years. As most of you know, Los Angeles is on the cusp of hosting some of the world's most significant global events of the decade. As I recall back, the last time we did something similar to this was in 1984. And since that's the year that my youngest, I'm aging myself, son was born, some in this room might not have even been born at that time, but for sure, a lot of us were, and I'm one of them. But most importantly, I just wanted to bring some context to this. This is a really important event. We're looking at the 2026 FIFA World Cup, the 2027 Super Bowl, the 2028 Olympic and Paralympic Games, and these moments present unprecedented opportunities for small business. So to that, I want to say kudos to all of you proactive, strategic visionaries in this room, stakeholders, change makers, change agents, because, like everything else, the production, the execution, the experience will not work at its peak, at its maximum effectiveness if we don't plan. So, I just want to thank you all for being here, and I want you to walk out of here after having networked, talked to people, listened, looking at things through a different lens. You'll have new ideas that might change some of your ideas for the better, we hope. But most importantly, BizFed Institute, this is what we do. We provide a platform for discussion and for people to discuss and collaborate and get new ideas so that we can identify resources and actionable items that we can walk out of here with. And in doing so, clear a path if there are any obstacles. And once we clear that path and make progress, protect it with public policy. Our sister organization, the LA County Business Federation, better known as BizFed, they specialize in that, and they've been very effective over the last several years. So with that said, I just want to say that, this is going to shape our economy, infrastructure, and public safety and workforce for years to come. Today's summit, again, is a call to action, and we're here to connect the dots between private and public sectors. We call it PPP, public-private partnerships. Well, this is a platform and launch pad for that. So when it comes to small businesses, global brands, local communities, international partners, we have people here from international consuls. And, we're not playing. And you folks here are a symbol of how serious we are about this. So we're going to tackle the pressing questions that will define our region's future readiness, from transportation to housing to security, permitting, trade, procurement. This will be more than just a conversation. It's a catalyst. Your participation today helps ensure that Los Angeles is not ready. It's not just only ready, but resilient, inclusive, equitable as we welcome the world. So I want to say that, when you look at small business especially, small business is our platform that small business employs over 80% in the state of California of workers, right? And this is an opportunity for small business to understand what their packaging needs to look like to go after some of what I call an economic shock, but a positive one, a tsunami of revenue and opportunity that's going to hit this geography. And those that are going to benefit most are going to get prepared. So some of the folks that you're going to be listening to in these panel discussions, they're going to be able to deliver some of those messages from a county level, city level, and then something special that we as an organization offer. We're going to help businesses train and understand what it's going to take to get to that point. So with that said, I just want to welcome you all and thank you. So now, what's next up? What we do with every forum is that we put out a flash poll. And a flash poll will allow us to dive into the results conducted by the employers group. And this short poll grabs the thoughts of a snapshot of our audience that's here today as well as outside this room. And so, here today to present the results of that flash poll is the CEO of Employers Group and Everything HR, Bill Stevens. Bill has been with me for 5 years now. 5, yeah, it seems like 35 in dog years, right, Bill? And they have been awesome and dynamic in bringing forth information, objective information, as well as subjective information, and compiling it in a way that's easy to understand, grasp, and provide impact. He's, again, in his executive role as leadership, he helps his clients realize the maximum benefits of all the services available through his organization. So he leverages internal subject matter experts, external partners to identify and address complex compliance, organizational, and best employment practices faced by employers of all sizes and all industries. So with no further ado, I want to bring up Bill to deliver the message.
All right, get this. I'm going to have to do the nodding, the balloon over here to keep this thing moving, huh? I'll do my best. I'm going to have to look back a little bit. But thank you so much, Kevin, for that introduction. It's really, really appreciated. I also want to thank the planning committee. That really the input that we got as we were putting this poll together was exceptional. Really, really fascinating. So thank you for your time and all your insights that you provided. And in particular, if we move to the next slide, we can dive into it. Particular thank you to the 56 of you that did complete the flash poll. We really appreciate you taking a couple minutes out of your busy days to provide this insight, because hopefully this will help to spur on some of the discussions that will go on throughout the day today. And I think Kevin's use of the term call to action, I think we'll see some of that coming out of the results of the flash poll. So we'll dig a little bit deeper into this in just a moment, but overall, just the key takeaways I think that we see here, a very, very positive outlook on the benefits of our region hosting these events. That was one of the big takeaways that I saw from the poll results. Minimal. Now, there's some ups and some downs as we go through this. You say, oh, great, and then, okay. So minimal expectations that small and minority-owned businesses will see significant benefits. That's something we saw in the poll as well. Now, a strong interest in actively participating, but guidance, collaboration, clarification, and support are needed. Kind of a spoiler alert, that's part of the call to action, I think, that we're going to see here too. Not a huge shock. Traffic, parking, public transportation are significant concerns, and local businesses are strongly encouraged through the participation we had in the poll, strongly encouraged to get involved in these events. So if we go to the next slide, we'll start looking at the particular results from each of the questions. We like to start off with kind of a general, kind of a pulse type question. So we asked, what kind of an impact do you think the upcoming major global events will have on our region, on the local economy, and on local businesses? And expectations are overwhelmingly optimistic as far as these events can have, the impact that they can have on our local economy and on local businesses. And if you look at the results here, you'll see that we had about 90%, the two key things here, 90% indicating that they feel that these are going to have a positive impact, whether it's short-term or long-term. But then there's a little bit of a gauntlet being thrown here. The right planning has to be done. That's what the largest segment did point out. If the right planning is done, these can be hugely successful for us. And then the other thing I think that jumps out here is that under 10% indicated that they're either that they don't think it's going to have an impact or that it will have a negative impact. So we've got a really, really strong sense that this is a positive type of opportunity that we're looking at. If we go to the next slide, now we start to look at some of the concerns. So we're going to look at the concerns and the possible benefits that we're seeing. And the biggest concern, not shocking for anybody that's ever been to Los Angeles, getting around. So we asked the question, what are your top concerns that come with us hosting these events? And you can see the top two here really dominated this. The increased traffic and parking challenges and the insufficient public transportation to support the surge in visitors. So it's kind of the things that we deal with every day, those of us who live here and drive here, but we expect it to be accentuated by the influx of visitors that we're going to be dealing with. Number three also I thought was very interesting because it kind of ties into number one and number two, inadequate hotel availability, which cause and effect that could cause more traffic if we got people staying further away and out on the roads a little bit more. We can certainly expect something that to contribute to the challenges there. The other one I found particularly interesting, and we're going to hear more about this in just a moment, complex procurement processes that will make it difficult for small and medium-sized businesses. We're going to see that as one of our themes too, that this is a very complicated process to go through to get involved in this. Also interesting, public safety and crime didn't really resonate a lot throughout the poll, which I thought was kind of interesting. We didn't get a lot of comments about that. If we go to the next slide, so we just looked at the concerns. We'll look at what the benefits are that we're looking at, and we were told that we're expecting a lasting impact on our economy and our workforce. So the question that we asked was, what do you think are the most significant long-term benefits that will come with us hosting these events? And again, like we have with the concerns, the top two really dominated here, and they're interesting: sustained economic boost and job creation and workforce development. So these, of course, these are long-term focuses, long-term opportunities, and really underscores the optimism that we're seeing here. Far and away, these were the ones that had the most selections. This was done as a forced ranking, by the way, if you guys remember, anybody who took it. So we had you rank these 1 through 10 in this case. So these are the two that were number one and number two, far and away the most. And then also, the other one that I find interesting here is number three. And I think that this is a lot when we look at the planning, is the global spotlight opening the door for local businesses and entrepreneurs to connect with international opportunities. So this is something that's unique. Not every city gets to experience something like this, and we're going to have it in spades over the next few years. And that's, I think, something that is going to be really important as we go on with the program today. On the next slide, we look at, and this again, this is the one I think that surprised me the most. One of our key takeaways was about businesses wanting to get involved, and here is kind of where we drive that home. We asked the question, is your business planning to pursue business opportunities, contracts, or partnerships related to any of the events that are coming up? And look at this. Look at how many are already planning or already in the process of doing it. 56% already doing it, with another 24% hoping to do it, and only 15% that said no. So I think that's really interesting, and hopefully that's represented with some of the people that are in the room today. I think that will make this program even more beneficial if some of the people that are looking to get involved get an opportunity to hear from everybody that's here. So we know that there's a lot of businesses that are looking to get involved in these events, but how do they plan on doing this? And on the next slide, we'll see, and this actually comes to a lot of the people in this room. Again, businesses would appreciate your help. And it's a clear messaging, I think, here that businesses would like your help, because we asked the question, what type of support would your business need most? And look what it is: networking with agencies and primes, and collaboration with other local businesses through associations and business groups. So that's what those that are looking to get involved, that's what they're hoping to find to help them get involved even more. So these far and away dominate over things like access to capital, which is up there, close to a third looking for that. And then the other one that I'd like to point out here, because we'll talk about this in just a moment, is more general information that is concise and easy to understand. That's another one of our themes. So it really boils down to a need for businesses to overcome that kind of a barrier, and kind of get a better understanding and get better connected with everybody. And on the next slide, we'll kind of drive this one home again, which is what's the barrier? What's the biggest barrier for getting involved? And I think the message is clear on this one as well. Keep it simple. The complexity of the certification and procurement process, the lack of concise and comprehensible information. And you can imagine, I mean, that's pretty easy to visualize as small business owners, small business people trying to work through this mountain of documentation that you need to go through in order to get involved in this. So continuing to bounce then between the positive and the negatives. On the next slide, so that was about the barriers. Where will we see the biggest long-term benefit? And I think this is kind of a little ironic, maybe, is that a perennial problem may inspire some positive benefits, which is transportation. The question that we asked was, which sector do you think will realize the highest long-term benefit from the investment of time, resources, and money in preparing for these events? Transportation dominated. And look at hotels, also right up there. Now, this was actually a tough question because we only allowed you one choice. So it wasn't, which ones, pick two, pick three, just one. So transportation was the one that came in the most. But it's interesting that all of these, I'm sure, are top priorities for everybody. The one that stood out to me on this the most, though, was that only 6% selected small and minority-owned businesses. And that goes back to one of our key takeaways, that we're not necessarily seeing, at least based on the flash poll results, a lot of expectation in terms of the benefits for small and minority-owned businesses. And each of these, are equally important, of course. On the final slide, the last question we always ask, and it's always my favorite. I can't wait to get the final results when they come in on these polls for the open-ended questions. And it was very uniform this time. The question that we asked was, what advice would you give to a small business owner who wants to be part of these events but doesn't know where to start? And you can see, just from looking at this, the theme is clear. Get involved. Get out there, start talking to people, seek advice, look for every opportunity that you can find. This is all the responses that we got, a little bit edited just for space, but you can see they all kind of follow the same theme. I like the last one the most, of course, which is attend events like this one and network. So you guys are already way ahead of some of the others by attending the event today. So thank you very much for your time, and thank you again for those who participated in the poll.
Informative, huh? This is this part, is going to also be in our key takeaways. It's really important that we have that kind of information that you shared, Bill. It gives us an opportunity, especially for the speakers coming up, to shape their conversation and thoughts.